So guys, we are now looking at 9B part 3, and 9B part 3 is graphing systems. Very simple. All right, we've graphed systems before. We're just going to go over a few more things because we're going to sketch the graph, but we also want to label the solutions. So what we're going to start by doing is opening a new document. You will need a graphing calculator for this. If you have your own graphing calculator, though, that one works as well. I'm going to add a graph. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph both of these equations. So I have y equals 2 2z, so I'm going to put the exponent x, press enter, there is that lovely graph. And then I also want to graph y equals 2x, which is different than 2 to the x, so make sure you type them in differently. So I have this. And then I want to look, remember, solutions are where we cross. These are sometimes a little bit difficult to see, but you should kind of see this red line, right? It crosses the blue line twice. The blue line, good. This is not good. Alright, the blue, if you look really closely, the blue line is also just on the right side and then goes back on the left side of that red line. So I do have two solutions. Remember, to get to what our solutions are, we do menu, analyze graph, and we want to go to intersection. I'm going to go just to the left of the first intersection and just to the right of the just to the right of that intersection. Remember, as soon as that dot pops up, you have it. So my first intersection point is at 1, 2. That means that x equals 1. Okay. Then finding my second intersection point, same thing, menu, 6. Right, for analyze graph for intersection. Right, I can really start after this one, press enter, go through, right, as soon as that next one pops up, press enter, and my second intersection point is at 2, 4. So x equals 2. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is put those on my graph. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see the graph. Yeah. The graph is a little bit hard to see. For you guys, it actually looks nicely on the computer screen. So I'm going to, in order to graph, I'm going to put a dot at 1, 2 for this first point. So over 1, up 2. And then I'm going to put a dot at 2, 4 for the second point. So over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the last thing I have to do is kind of following what my graph looks like. I'm going to graph them. I think it's easier to graph just the line first. The line is just a straight line going through both of these points. Then for the y equals 2 to the x, I'm just going to look at where it starts, right? It's coming straight, it's coming over from 0 and then going through both of those points. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over from 0 and then loop in through both of those points. And that's my graph. Okay? And then lastly, I am labeling the solution. So this is 1, 2, and 2. Alright, so I'm just pretty much putting what's on my calculator onto my coordinate plane on my paper. Alright, looking at the second one, a slight difference. If we look at this system, right, I have y equals 3 to the x minus 7. And then I have y plus 6 equals 4x. Right? It's easy enough when they're both equal to y, but if I look at this second graph, the second equation is not equal to y. Right? So I have to get it equal to y first, meaning all I have to do is subtract 6. Right? So y equals 4x minus 6 is actually my second equation, and my first equation is y equals 3x minus 7. Okay? So be very careful if it's not just y on one side, just move anything else over first so that you can type it into your calculator. Okay? So again, I'm going to open a new document. I'm not going to save, add a graph. So my first equation is 3 3x. Make sure you come out, right? Make sure you hit to the right so you don't keep typing in the exponent. Minus 7. So we get something that looks like that. And then tab, it was y equals 4x minus 6. You get that. So again, I'm going to find my point. Analyze graph. Intersection. I'm going to go to the left of what looks like my first intersection point, which is down over here. And it looks like it is 0, negative 6. So that x equals 0. So I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. I'll put it down. For like the next lesson. And then my next one is menu, analyze graph, number 4, which is again intersection. I think it's right around here. I don't know why that other graph, but I just wanted to do it here. So I get 2, 2. So 2, 2, which again means x equals 2. I'm going to put that point 1 over 2 up 2. Then again, I think it is easier to draw the straight line in first. So just stick y plus 6 equals 4x or y equals 4x minus 6. All I'm going to do is connect those two lines in what attempts to be a straight line. Then I'm going to graph my y equals 3x plus 7. Again, I want to look at where it's coming from. It's a little hard to see, but it's actually coming from negative 7. We'll talk a little bit more about this later, but whatever that minus is usually where it's coming from. So it's going to be coming straight from down here. And I'm going to be straight up at the end. So it looks something like that as it curves through those 2 points. And that is it. Easy peasy since we've looked at solving systems by graphs before. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day.